Hi guys, welcome back to another SP video, and before anyone has any questions, although on camera it may not show up as anything crazy, I do have a full face of Halloween style makeup. I luckily for this video took the rest of the costume off. It's red wings and devil horns. I did a whole get ready with me on my vlog channel, so if you are interested in the Halloween stuff and this whole look, if you're looking to redo this tutorial, then yeah, I have all the info on my other channel, but I thought since I'm all dressed up, a good opportunity to film this video. So it's going to be all about your specific person and talking about what's the key sign, what's the key element to show you that you're on the right track, your SP is conforming without having to, literally force 3D action or go out and ask your SP. So we're going to get into all of that today, give you lots of clarification and reassurance. So stay tuned to hear all of my advice. Before I get straight into everything, you can also work with me if you haven't yet, or you're curious and you are thinking maybe coaching could be a good option. This is the time to just click the link in my bio from my website. Just take a couple minutes for yourself if you're interested. You can take a look at my offers and all the special discounts I currently have on, and also sign up as a member if you want the most affordable option. It's going to be the most expensive one you can get. For $2.99 a month, you can sign up as an LOA coaching darling for this channel. So we'd love to have you join us here, and yeah, because you get an exclusive monthly Q&A. But there's lots of coaching options if you're interested. And now let's get into the video. You are the person who is fully in control of your SP conforming. They aren't the ones who control their conforming. No one else is in control of conforming, not your friends' opinions, not your family's opinions. It's only you. You decide what you take on as a belief, what you consistently repeat to yourself, what you allow yourself to think about and predominantly focus on. And therefore, you're the one who's in control. You can say, no, I'm going to revise that experience, that conversation. I'm not going to accept what SP said or did. I'm going to keep persisting, reminding yourself that you're the creator of your reality. So remembering and acknowledging and kind of just going from the foundation of knowing that you're the one who controls your SP conforming. So it should be a reassuring fact to remember that you actually have full control over your reality. There's really nothing that can hold it back except you. You yourself can prevent your manifestation from coming in or cause delays, whether it's intentional or not. I know we would probably never intend to, consciously stop or put up a hurdle or block for our manifestation, but it can happen. And usually, it's not that someone else is constantly saying negative comments, it's that you're allowing those negative thoughts to continue in your mind without recognizing and stopping that pattern. So yes, it's normal for them to come up, but for it to be consistent and throughout the day, and your whole experience and journey has been very up and down, that is a sign you're not on a good mental diet. You're not staying aware of your thoughts. You're not persisting in the new version of what you're creating, thinking your SP is committed to you, communicating, texting, calling, they only have eyes for you, they really want to be with you, these kind of things. So if you're not thinking that way, then that's a clear sign that you're kind of standing in your own way. Remember also that your SP is responding to your dominant thoughts. So it's your predominant thoughts that will show you what's a clear sign, what is showing me here that I'm on the right track, I'm doing everything correctly as I'm meant to. So it's what you repetitively tell yourself and think to yourself. So are they positive thoughts? Are they negative? Do you, allow yourself to look at their social media or reread old conversations or analyze everything they do and everything that's happened and start saying, well, it's been 4 days since the last text, which means XYZ, and starting to create these assumptions for yourself. There's no objective reality telling you that things have to be a certain way, or, oh, because your SP didn't post on social media, here's the exact result. We're not God. We don't know that, what's going on in their minds, in their lives. So don't go automatically to that negative assumption. Try and think more positively, or just disengage from that stuff if it triggers you. But remember that you're in full control, so you can create an assumption and recognize, oh, I've been thinking negatively, I've been repeating those old stories to myself. So now let me flip that back around into the opposite positive and start, literally turning it into the opposite, or telling myself my affirmation and repeat and repeat and repeat until that thought and the negative thought fades away. So remember that it doesn't have to be that your thoughts are perfect. It's a case of you kind of understanding it's your dominant thoughts. So the things you think throughout the day, what's the automatic thought when I mention your SP, what comes to mind, what memory comes to mind, what assumptions do you have? If you're not in contact, What do you think is the root cause of that? And if you're not saying it's something to do with the manifesting process or a theme tying into and a practice tying into manifesting, such as mental diet, spiraling, forcing the 3D, if it's not something like that, you need to turn that around and recognize that habit and say, nope, I'm only going to repeat the new story to myself. So basically, tying into what Neville Goddard himself would say is that you need to be able to imagine it as real in your own mind. It needs to not necessarily feel emotionally, but although that's always great, it helps you imagine it being as more real and helps you feel good about everything. You need to imagine it and mentally embody it, visualize it, just have this mental experience of what it would be like in your desired end result. If you can imagine it as real, then you are already like mentally connected to that. You know what you're creating. You have a very specific, clear image in your mind, and that's what you're going to create if you continue to persist. So basically, when you yourself are experiencing internal shifts, that's the key element. That's what's showing you. It's everything in your own mind that's going to show you this is how and why SP is conforming. This is why they're becoming the version I want. They're kind of appearing in my reality as this different version, and because they already exist as that version. Some examples that would show that your mind is conforming, and to really just to explain even more to you guys if you are maybe confused or overthinking things, I've written down a few examples. So it'd be things like fewer opposing thoughts. So like I said, a clean mental diet, being able to think clearly and focusing on your end result, not having as many questions and doubts. Oh my gosh, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they say this? What's going on here? It's been 4 days, it's been 5 weeks, it's been 3 hours. You know, you're not quantifying all of that lack. And that's a good phrase as well, quantifying the lack, applying numbers and assumptions to any lack. If you're not thinking about that and you're not analyzing it, you're on a really, really good, you're on the right track, you're on the right path. So also I've written down here about visualizing your future. So again, mentally embodying and envisioning and experiencing in your mind the new version, the end result. So if you can visualize that future and you know what it looks like, I'm not saying you have to be amazing at visualizing or SATs, but you know what that would look like to you, that's another clear sign you're very focused, you know what the end result is, and your conscious mind isn't blocking that image. You're very connected to that. Also, the key element as well that ties into this example would be no longer feeling triggered. So if you see them on social media, if you see their name pop up, if someone mentions them, if they just come to your mind, or as you're looping your SP affirmations, you're not constantly feeling triggered or anxious or having these opposing thoughts come into your mind. That is definitely a clear sign that you're on the right track and that your mind is conforming. Your mind is very saturated and focused on the end result to the point that your conscious mind has calmed down. Also, of course, if you're not reliant on the 3D reality and you're not expecting and focusing on the 3D and physical reality just constantly showing you things, and when it doesn't, you spiral, you get triggered, you question everything, and you get on this negative cycle and loop. If you're not reliant and you don't constantly check or feel a need anymore to, look to your physical reality as the evidence, and you can focus on your mind and trust in the manifesting process, you're doing amazingly, you're doing amazing, sweetie, and you're really on the right track here. Basically, all of that means that your own subconscious mind is saturated, that you've persisted and looped and been so consistent with your affirmations and mentally focusing on that desired outcome that your own mind has conformed to that. So if you're conforming, your SP has to be conforming. The goal is, of course, to stay consistent with your affirmations and the mental effort, the mental focus. If you can just persist and be as consistent as is naturally possible in your day-to-day life, some days will be better, some days will be worse, but if you can do your best, then you're definitely on the right track. If you're not seeking validation from the 3D, then your SP is conforming because you're not reminding your mind and telling yourself, I don't have what I want, so I'm going to look and see, has he messaged? Has she called? Has this happened? Has that happened? You're not constantly looking for those signs, which means that your own mind is accepting the new version and therefore your SP has to be becoming that new version. Essentially, it's all about mentally persisting with that new story. So if you're focused, if you're putting in the mental focus, so again, emotions don't matter. Resolve them as you need to, work through your emotions and, heal in whatever way you feel is necessary. But the emotions actions aren't going to manifest or shift or change your manifestation and end result. It's up to you, it's up to your mental focus. So if you persist like that, which means a consistent routine with affirming, visualizing, scripting, any method where you're mentally focusing on the result over and over, that's how you're going to create what you want. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found this useful and got some clarity and reassurance, because I've listed as many examples as I can of things you may experience and also signs that you can look out for to make sure you're not on the wrong track. So if you did enjoy, please do thumbs up, subscribe and turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.